What's up, guys? We are back with today's college basketball roundup for February 26, 2025. Wow, last night was nuts. To cover some of those games from last night, Duke and Miami, we'll start with them. Duke went in there and fucking handled Miami, just as I said they would yesterday on yesterday's show. They went in there and threw up 37 fucking points, okay? That was wild in every way, considering Con Nipple scored 20 points, yet again, leading all scorers for Duke. And that's just something that we've came to see. It's him and the Cooper Flagg show running things up and just demolishing Miami. Miami fucking sucks. There's no other way to say it. They suck. And they're going to continue, I guess, to fucking suck. Followed by the Georgia-Florida game. Now, I told you guys yesterday, if you were listening, Georgia needed a win. Okay, they needed a win. They needed a big game to win. They needed to sneak into the tournament. And they came in there and they got that fucking win. Okay? I also told you that when Condon scores 10 points, Florida wins. Okay? I also mentioned that yesterday on the show. Guess how many points Condon had? He had 9. That ain't 10. All right, he had 9. So, yeah. Can't do that. Can't do that. My Tennessee Volunteers went to LSU on the road. They could not close out the game. They won by 6. They didn't cover. And all sorts of business there in that game because Ziegler wasn't necessarily on fire like he usually is. Defensively, he did a great job. He took a lot of shots. He banked home a 3. If y'all saw that one, that was pretty cool. But, yeah, we got to get better production out of him. When he takes 14 shots and only makes 6, I mean, it's not horrible, but he can do better than that. A lot of times he'll drive the lane and he tries to get, contact, and he doesn't always draw contact. But when he does, he's usually decent at the free throw line. So Alabama, Mississippi State, that was a miss on my part, guys. That was a miss. Alabama said, no, I'm going to put up 111 fucking points, and Mississippi State, you can go sit down. All right, Josh Hubbard did what I said Josh Hubbard would do. He scored 21 points. What we did not account for is Chris Youngblood's performance of 27 points. That was something just unheard of. But clearly, Alabama's still one of the best teams in the country. Okay, their offense may be the best team in the country. That's possible. They might be. I don't know. The surprise of the night. Surprise of the night. Iowa State and Oklahoma State. What? What the fuck happened there? Oklahoma State won the game? I know that Iowa State's limping, but TJ Osselberg, what are you doing at Iowa State here? I know it's a road game and it's a conference game, and I got all that, but you favored to win by almost 10 points. You get beat by 6? No, you got to do better. You got to give us better on that, okay? Let's go to Wisconsin and Washington. As expected, Wisconsin is a great basketball team. Washington is not. Washington fucking sucks, okay? Great Osobor. Like I said yesterday, he is the only player on that team. He's the only one that did anything. And his only one doing anything was only good for 11 points. All right. And Tonji didn't even do all the craziness that Tonji does with Wisconsin. Old Blackwell came on in there and said, I'm going to get 24 points. That's what I'm going to do. And there was really, never a doubt that Wisconsin was going to win this game. It was close for like the first couple of minutes, and then they just fucking shot up and just kept separating further and further away. And that's what you like to see when you bet a game like that. You definitely like to see that, 100%. But Yeah, Washington, you're bad. You're real bad. Then we have Missouri and South Carolina. No news there. I mean, I didn't know that Missouri had put up 101 points on them, but South Carolina, you're the worst team in the SEC. You were literally worse than LSU, okay? So I'm not going to spend any time and energy on you at all. You suck. Fucking suck. All right? We got Louisville and Virginia Tech. Louisville went in there and narrowly won by 5, okay? They were up 8 at halftime. They won by 5. Chucky Hepburn did not perform to the way that he usually does. He still put up 15 points, but it was on 5 of 12 shooting. You got to do better than that, buddy. I mean, you're taking only 12 shots. That ain't right. You need more shots than that. I mean, luckily you knocked it down 100% at the free throw line, but you got to do better than that. Virginia Tech is not a good team, okay? The last game was Marquette. I mean, Marquette went in there, beat Providence by 30 points. Cam Jones didn't get the 25 points I thought he would get because old Gold came in there and threw up 17 and said, "It's fine, Cam. Go get your points. But I got this. This is Providence. I got them." And yeah, ever since Ed Cooley left Providence and went to Georgetown, Providence sucks. They're not good. All right, so that's what happened yesterday. All right, like I said, with the surprise of Iowa State, I don't think it was a surprise necessarily what happened with Georgia and Florida. I really don't. To me, that was pretty much par for the course, I thought. But let's get to some news. So we're still trying to figure out who the fuck's going to be the coach of Miami and what's happening, okay? Yet again, it's a bad team, okay? It's a bad team. If you'll remember, one of their best players last year, Norchad Omer, he said, "Fuck Miami, I'm going to Baylor." All right, I'm going to go to Baylor. It's a Dust Bowl in Baylor. It's hot as fucking Baylor. I'm going to leave South Beach in Miami to go to Baylor. Now, who does that? That's how bad that fucking program is that he has to do that, okay? Miami is a cesspool of all sorts of things. That someone wants to go to Baylor, that's not going to be a good coaching job to have. It will be for peace of mind, money, the beach, etc., food, Cuban sandwiches, and all that good stuff. But I don't know. I don't see things from the Canes coming in the next 5 years in the ACC, so we'll see. And then Duke's Proctor. He injured his leg, okay? He's getting imaging done today to see the extent of the damage. But let me tell you something about Duke. They got 5 NBA talent-ready people right now on their team. They're not going to miss a beat because Proctor's sitting out. They're not. They won't, okay? So they're going to be all right no matter what his imaging to his leg has. Furthermore, on the injury front, Kleesmith for Wisconsin goes down. He leaves with a leg injury. What happens, though? They didn't miss a beat. They didn't miss a beat. If he'd have been in the game, they'd have won by 5 more points, okay? They'd have won by 5 more points and fucking beat them by 30, probably. So, yes, it sucks that they've lost him and they've lost his defensive prowess and everything else, but they're still the best free throw shooting team in the country. I've said that many times, and I stand behind that. That goes so far in games. And if you're betting it, don't forget that, okay? And then Georgetown. Now, on the injury front, I don't know how much you've kept up with Ed Cooley's Georgetown team, but Sorber, his foot's screwed up. He's gone for the year. Georgetown's struggling. They're probably not going to make the tournament, but the beats keep on coming for Ed Cooley's Hoyas, okay? And one day, I believe if they don't fire him, Ed Cooley's going to get them to a Final Four eventually. That's just the mentality that he has, and he couldn't get it done at Providence exactly because of their low budget, but Georgetown has a bigger budget. I believe he can work that, and they can be a Final Four caliber type team under his reign if they can bring the players in. So we'll see. And then North Carolina. This is wild. North Carolina gets a hold of a super agent from the NBA, Tanner, brings him in and says, we want you to be our GM. And oh, by the way, we're keeping Hubert Davis. We're going to rework his contract. Excuse me. We're going to rework his contract, and the two of y'all are going to go off into the fucking sunset together, okay? That's crazy. Hubert Davis, I know that you're an alum. Sorry. I know that you're an alum, but you're done. You need to be done with this team, okay? This team needs to move on from you. You're not Roy Williams. You're never going to be Roy Williams. They are screwing up. We have a Bill Belichick that came in there. We don't know how that's going to work out for their football program, but I think they're screwing up 100%. The Diamond Head Classic, all right? That tournament has been a staple of basketball the last, I don't know how many years. They're calling it off next year. They're not going to play it any longer, okay? And that sucks because that was a fun one to watch on TV late at night. I loved it. All right, let's get into today's games. What do we have on the slate for today? This is what y'all been waiting for. This is what you want to see about betting. So let's see who we got today. Right off the bat, I like two games a lot today. Maryland, Michigan State's one of them. Maryland at home is very good. Maryland, period, is very good. Tom Izzo's a great coach. Michigan State's a great team. Maryland's going to beat them today, guys. Spread's 4.5. I think Maryland's got them by 6 to 8 points. All right. Maryland will run them out of the gym from one side to the other. Okay. They can't keep up. They will not be able to keep up. And they got 3 guys on that team that are very good in their craft. They out-rebound them. They will outshoot them. And really, Fears with Michigan State, he's a pretty good captain of the team as far as ball handling and assist and such. But Gillespie's going to come in there and shut his ass down. Okay? So stand by for that. Stand by for Maryland to beat them. And that's what's going to happen there. Moving on to Auburn and Ole Miss. Now, guys, I've said this before. I know you've heard it before. Auburn's the best team in the country. They're number one for a reason. They've lost 2 fucking games. And they have beat some really big-ass opponents. They're in the SEC and only lost 2 games. They've lost 1 SEC game. Okay? They're going to win it all. I have no doubt in my mind Auburn's going to be the national champion. I don't think anybody can hang with them. Whether there's Janiah Broome or not, it's not going to matter. Okay? Ole Miss is a decent team. But at 13.5 point spread, Ole Miss is going to get wiped up by Auburn. Auburn's going to cover that. They'll probably beat them by 20. Okay? So keep that in mind. That's coming. Vandy in Texas is our next game at 7 o'clock. Boys, if you take a look at what Vandy's done, Vandy's played giant killer. Okay? Vandy has slayed some giants. My Tennessee team went down there and handled A&M in their own building. Okay? Punched them right in the teeth. Right in the fucking mouth. Vandy's about to come down there and try to follow the same blueprint. Wade Taylor IV, great player. He's played for 500 fucking years in college basketball. He puts up 15 points a game. Great free throw percent at 87, 88%. He's good at it. Ain't going to be enough later on down the stretch. You've got to do more. Your defense is good, but you need more offensive production from your supporting cast. You got to have that. Okay? The spread's 7.5 A&M's favor. Take the points in Vandy. Take the points in Vandy. AJ Hoggard transferred from Michigan State. He's done really good on the floor at Vandy. And Vandy's loaded with some athletes. I know it's a med school at Vandy, but they got some fucking athletes. So don't fall into the trap at A&M at home a second time. Next, Notre Dame Clemson. Wow. Not a Clemson shirt, by the way. It's Tennessee. Okay. Notre Dame used to be a great basketball team. Mike Bray, I believe, was the coach. Had some good ones 10 years ago with Wisconsin and Notre Dame in the Final Four. Just great basketball school. And now they're not. And now they're going on the road to Clemson, which is a very difficult place to play. They've lost 2 conference games, okay? Clemson spreads 14.5, and Clemson's going to cover that. They're going to blow that shit out of the water, okay? I'm not even wasting my time talking about any more about Notre Dame. They fucking suck, okay? Let's go over here to the Rice and Memphis game at 8 o'clock. Memphis comes back home. PJ Haggerty is a one-man fucking show, guys. This man is fucking doing it all, averaging over 21 points a game. I mean, he's laying the big stick on pretty much everybody he's played. But I'm going to shout out to my boy Gary Parrish here for a moment. GP knows that his Memphis team struggles against anybody that has owls as a mascot. And Rice is an owl, along with Temple's an owl and FAU's an owl. And he does not like playing owls. Gary Parrish does not. And I agree with him. This spread of 13.5 is big as hell. I don't think they cover. I think they win, but who knows? It's an owl. So I recommend staying the fuck away from this game completely. All right? That's pretty much it I got on Memphis. That's all. Moving on to St. John's and Butler's as a night game, 9 o'clock. Very curious on this one. Butler sucks. Butler's under 500. St. John comes to town hotter than anybody in the country, and the line is only 6.5. What? Why? You got to ask yourself why on that. I don't know. But St. John's going to cover that shit. And Kadari Richmond transfers from Seton Hall, goes to St. John's, makes Rick Pitino look incredible. He looks fucking incredible, Rick Pitino. Okay? So, St. John's is a Final Four team, possibly. Definitely an Elite Eight team. Possibly a Final Four team. We'll see. We'll see. 3 more games to get to here. Kentucky and Oklahoma. Now, another curious line. Oklahoma started off like, what, 13-0 or something? Now they've went 4-10 in their last 14. Literally 4-10 in the conference. Now, I know it's the SEC, but damn, how are you going to start off undefeated like that? Well, I'll tell you how. You're not as good as everybody thinks you are, for one. And two, Oweh's going to come in there and probably put up 25 points tonight on your team, okay? He's coming for you. Fears you're going to have to do something to match him or something. But that line is only 2.5 with Kentucky coming to town. It don't make sense, guys. Kentucky covers that, all right? They cover that. 100%, they cover that. I don't know why that line's that way, but anyone betting Oklahoma's silly here, okay? After that, at 9 o'clock on ESPN Plus, funny enough, Arizona and Utah, okay? 9 o'clock. Arizona at home is deadly. Caleb Love, Tobe Awaka from Tennessee, Love, Bradley from San Diego State. These guys are getting it done at home, okay? They will spit in your face. Their fans will scream at the fucking Mormons like they did the last game. This is a hard-ass place to play, and that line's 15.5 for a reason. That line is 15.5 because Utah's about to get fucking beat by 25 or 30, okay? Mark that shit down. That's about to happen. So, Not wasting my time on Utah and their fucked up program because they're firing everybody. They don't have anybody. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And finally, to round it out at 9:30, we have BYU and Arizona State. Well, I just talked about those Mormons being very sensitive when they play at Arizona. Well, guess what, Mormons? Now you got to play at Arizona State. Now you're going further south, same fucking place, and that is not an easy place to play. You're playing a team that is not 500 in a very tough venue with a Hurley as a coach. Okay, Bobby Hurley. Not Dan Hurley, but Bobby. But here's the problem. Arizona State fans, your leading scorer, Freeman, who averages over 13 points a game, he's out for the year. You have nobody. BYU is the 25th best team in the country, supposedly, according to Ken Palm and some other metrics. The spread's only 4.5, and they're losing their biggest scorer. Guys, you've got to jump all over this one. You have to. You literally have to jump all over this one. So BYU should go in there and cover by 10 or 15, but we'll see. But as always, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Like, subscribe, hit like button, smash them, do whatever you want to do. Send me some comments. Send me some questions. Tell me things you like, you don't like. We're going to keep this rolling with college basketball. Love college basketball. But just let me know what you guys like, and good luck if you're betting today. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.